All right. Welcome to another live video with myself here, Liam. And today I'm going to talk about why crypto is so powerful, crypto blockchain. And if you're crypto curious, you're going to walk away learning how to really understand crypto and be a better crypto investor in general. And obviously, the benefits of crypto. But before we talk about what makes crypto so powerful, let's actually talk about America, the country. What's something that makes America so great and so powerful? Well, other than the obvious, like the American dollar, one of the great things that has made America throughout history is this thing called ownership, right? And what is ownership? Well, it's the ability to actually have control and say over how something is dealt with, right? And what specifically about ownership that a lot of people don't realize is that when you have ownership of something, because you can transfer ownership, you can sell it. And when you can sell it for money or other goods and services, it becomes an asset, right? And assets are the fundamental pillars of wealth, right? If you don't own anything, if you don't have any assets to sell, do you really have wealth? The answer, no. Because if you can't sell the things you own for money, well, you're really just a serf. That's what they used to call people back in the day. And this is obviously one of the great revolutions that America had was the concept of private property, ownership, assets. And these are things that constitute and what make America great. So it's that very simple concept of ownership equals assets, and assets equal wealth. Without assets, there's no wealth. So, what does crypto and blockchain have to do with this? Well, let me actually look underneath these postcards here. Because, like I said, ownership is proof something is yours. Therefore, you can sell it. Therefore, you can build wealth. So, what does crypto bring to the table? Well, if you think about the internet, the internet has really only been mass widely adopted since about 2009, 2010, 2011. These are when the really big tech companies like Amazon, Google, Apple really started taking off. Now, of course, they existed much longer before that, but it was really the iPhone that took internet adoption to the next level. I remember Amazon. I remember my grandma ordering stuff on Amazon. But that is really after the 2008 recession is when we really saw you know these giant internet companies really take off the way that they are today. And one thing that I want to talk about here is the fact that with crypto, I'll be honest, I totally forgot my train of thought here. I totally forgot my train of thought. So look, the bottom line is crypto provides digital ownership. And so this is where my train of thought was going. Duh. So before with the internet, even the fact that these big internet companies started coming around in the early 2010s, late 2000s, 2009 to 2011. The problem is how could you prove ownership of something naturally? Right? Like if you grow something or if you own the land, like it's recorded at the local government official office that you own land, you pay taxes on it, etc., etc. So there's a way to record ownership. But when it comes to the digital, how do you actually prove ownership without having to go outside of the digital realm? And the problem is that hasn't really been possible. Like, yeah, you can get copyrights and there's these trademarks and there's all these things, but of course you have to go file it like land at a government office. And technically in America, you don't own land, you just own land that America owns, and then you pay taxes on the land that America owns. Because if you don't pay your taxes, guess what? You'll find out who owns the land very quickly. But what makes crypto so revolutionary, so great, and so powerful is that it has introduced a way for anybody to prove digital ownership. Because if you haven't seen it before, go back in my YouTube, or sorry, it's not on my YouTube, on my Facebook feed, and I made a video about how blockchain actually works. And essentially, it's just a digital book, right? It's a it's a ledger of records, just like land ownership is kept at the local government office. Blockchain serves as a digital record keeping office. And so this is a way for people to prove digital ownership in a digital setting, which has absolutely never been possible before crypto. And what does that ultimately mean? Well, like we said earlier, we know when we can prove ownership, that means we can sell something, which therefore makes it an asset. So blockchain allows us to build truly digital wealth, right? Because there was no way for us before blockchain, there was no way for us to actually prove ownership of something digitally. Therefore, we couldn't really build wealth. We couldn't really build equity in something digital. So now that blockchain exists, we can. And obviously, as we move and accelerate into the digital world, like we have and we will continue to, how do we quantify that? I mean, it's going to be hard to quantify exactly what that represents, but if we can just imagine the wealth that's been created in the entire world, and then we just apply it to a digital borderless economy, right? That's essentially what crypto and blockchain and all of this represents, is a digital borderless economy, meaning things aren't bound to the physical world, meaning things aren't bound to your local community, county, state, country, right? You're going to have pretty much everybody all over the world will be participating in this digital ownership. And you're going to have a lot more equity and money flowing through this digital borderless economy. And it will be a lot more smoother because there will be no stops and goes. There will be no borders. It will flow very smoothly. And so this is what makes crypto so powerful, is the fact that it provides digital ownership, which in turns creates truly digital assets, which in turns means that we can build true digital wealth. So with that being said, I trust that you got some value out of this lesson. If you did, drop a like and also drop a comment if with any questions that you may have, any comments and anything I can clarify for you. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you again next time.